The Trump administration is firing prosecutors and now moving toward a possible purge of FBI agents who investigated the January 6th Capitol riot. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. Administration officials have begun gathering names and records related to all agents connected to Capitol riot investigations. An organization representing FBI agents warns that mass firings could severely weaken our national security. Fox 4's Casey Stiegel is in the studio with the latest. Casey.
Yeah, Steve, Heather, these mass firings were ordered, by the way, by Acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove. That, according to internal memos obtained by the Associated Press, they essentially include three different groups of people: prosecutors in the Department of Justice, who were reportedly let go today, senior executives within the FBI who faced termination on Monday, and finally, thousands of FBI agents who could lose their jobs further down the line. All reportedly had some type of involvement in probes related to the January 6th insurrection.
It is certainly unprecedented.
Retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent Gil Torres tells Fox 4 the staffing shakeups at the nation's top law enforcement agencies, like the DOJ and FBI, will have ripple effects across the federal government.
There will be a lot of chaos, and there's going to be, if you will, fear from within to know how to act and do your job properly.
Torres says the potential dismissal of such a high number of agents weakens the Bureau's ability to protect America from national security and other criminal threats.
You're going to have an agency that's been invaded, if you will, or if it is not functioning as an independent agency to do its job.
At the White House on Friday, conflicting reports between President Trump and members of his senior staff. When questioned directly about the issue, the president denied playing a role in the firings, while his deputy chief of staff, Stephen Miller, alluded to simply carrying out the will of the people.
The American people, this was litigated for 4 years, right, from 2021 through the election. The question of the weaponization of the justice system. Of course, it started back in 2017. But in other words, the whole period of the Biden presidency, this was probably the most discussed and litigated issue. And the American people rendered an overwhelming verdict on the question of whether or not we need to clean ranks in our law enforcement and intelligence communities and ensure that the partisan weaponization of our justice system ends.
No, I wasn't involved in it. I'll have to see what is exactly going on after this is finished. But if they fired some people over there, that's a good thing, because they were very bad. They were very corrupt people. They used the Justice Department to go after their political opponent, which in itself is illegal. And obviously it didn't work.
The personnel changes come on the heels of President Trump pardoning more than 1,500 people who were criminally charged for participating in the 2021 U.S. Capitol riot. Officials allege now they're being punished.
They should be able to do their jobs without the fear of some kind of retaliation.
However, Torres predicts courts may end up having the final say.
I do know that if they are fired, that they will have remedies that are internal, that they can challenge that and maybe end up in court and regain their status or their jobs back.
There are also concerns over the safety of those law enforcement officials getting pink slips. The government is not expected to provide any kind of civil service protection to ousted workers, which could make them a target for the people they investigated.